So who is Joe Hendry?
big,
Who is Joe Hendry?
he's
NTX heavyweight champion, or the whatever kind of
TNA
champion.
heavyweight champion.
TNA.
Oh. Okay.
But I think he fights with NXT currently.
I don't know, but yeah, it was TNA. Either way, he's like some kind of a part, and I'm sure he's going to be in WWE soon, obviously, since he went up against fucking Randy Orton.
And he had the biggest fucking pop for all of WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, like no one knew who it was going to be, and then all of a sudden, I believe in Joe Hendry. It's like, what the fuck? What is happening? And it was him, and it was just like, this is great. And even like Randy's face was like, what the fuck? This guy, really?
I just love that as he's walking down, you see like Randy Orton start to dance to the theme song.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know, right? He was a fucking trooper with it too. It was funny.
Yeah, no, Joe Hendry's probably one of the most over fucking superstars right now.
Dude, just after Randy put him down and for the second time, and then turned around and did his thing. That shit was. I love that Randy did his shtick. That really made me laugh.
Yeah, the little turn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, that fucking little turn.
That was fucking good.
I just love how he did the little turn right into the camera and then got fucking RKO'd.
Yes, that was great. And then, okay, I'm not gonna lie, and I doubt this is a hot take, but it might be. Raw on Monday was more exciting than the 2 nights of WrestleMania.
WrestleMania kind of fucking blew.
That's
it
what
was
I heard.
okay. But even like Triple H was talking somewhere, and he was like, basically saying you don't want to blow your load all at WrestleMania, because what else do you have to look forward to? So it's going to be exciting, and it was exciting, but then like freaking Monday hit, and it's just like, oh my gosh, like what is happening?
I think night 1 of WrestleMania even was more eventful than night 2.
Do they do
Really?
Do they do Raw live, or is it pre-recorded?
Yeah, they do it live on Netflix.
So they did WrestleMania live, and then the very next day they did Raw live.
Yes,
it's a quick turnaround.
You know, Triple H did a bit this year where he was like, "That's my off season," and it was like 30 seconds between WrestleMania going off air and being handed Monday's script.
Dude, no, they did SmackDown on Friday, and then the Hall of Fame. And then
didn't they do
Saturday?
They did something else too on Friday night.
Other than the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, because there was also an NXT event.
Oh, well, that doesn't count.
I just know that store looked fucking awesome.
What?
The Superstore in Vegas?
I don't know what you're talking about.
There was a WrestleMania Superstore that had like everybody's sick ass merch.
Oh,
they had the Travis Scott merch.
Ugh, gross. No, thank you. That shit's so like a $55 for a t-shirt. You're out of your fucking mind. Absolutely fucking not. For that guy stealing fucking Mick Foley's character, no, thank you. No, thank you.
$55 for a shirt?
Yeah, dude.
Now they're making money off of that shit. I can probably tell you exactly how much they paid for it.
I guarantee it's a fucking Hanes shirt too.
Oh
probably
yeah,
Hanes or Gildan. I bet you they ordered a shit ton of them. I bet you they probably paid no more than $10 a piece for them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for $55 fucking dollars. Just like,
I mean, the hoodies are $180.
Yeah, for fucking Travis Scott. Are you shitting my?
Because I really wanted the Mick Foley hoodie.
Wait, like Travis Scott the rapper?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Is he part of
like
the WWE?
Big WWE nemesis right now.
So you remember, like, he came out with like his McDonald's thing, and it was the Cactus Jack. Literally Mick Foley's character. Like, he's super into WWE, and he has been a part of it for a while. Like, he doesn't really wrestle, but he's like in the Rock's clique. So he literally came out and helped Cena beat Cody Rhodes on Sunday night.
Travis Scott? Like, Travis Scott's
He's
like
also
smaller than I am.
He has a theme song for WWE too.
Yeah, Fiend.
Fiend. Yeah, I mean, it works, but it's just like... And then he busted Cody Rhodes' eardrum and gave him a black eye because he doesn't know how to fucking wrestle. But they were like, yeah, you'll be fine. Just go out there and
Just hit him.
Hit him.
They're like, yeah, just go out there and give him one. Fucking goes out there and actually fucking hits him.
Bust his fucking eardrum and shit. But yeah, Monday was really exciting. Like, Pat McAfee got attacked. Io Sky got attacked. And then Rhea Ripley. Oh my gosh. Io Sky versus Stephanie Vacquier. Oh, that was amazing.
The only thing
Liv Morgan and Raquel Reed got their titles back.
Yeah, fuck them. Who cares about them?
The only thing I saw, and I didn't even see it, I just saw pictures of it because for some reason, like, I couldn't find the video, was Stone Cold flipping a 4-wheeler.
Flip it. He didn't flip it. He just kind of hit it into the barricade because there wasn't any fucking room. And then some lady pretended like, she might have not pretended, but it was like, he like bumped the fucking barricade and this lady fell down.
I think it's funny that they're trying to make it out to a thing where Stone Cold was hammered.
No, it was a fucking tiny ass thing. No,
even
like,
Undertaker's complained about it in the past when they had him ride his bike out.
Well, that was because the cameramen were literally in his way too. But like, yeah, to get the shot, so it's like you have such a small path, and then you have cameramen and all kinds of other people. Like, no, it's not. And then
Pat
you don't
McAfee's
really
stoned ass staring you down.
They don't get to rehearse this shit. It's just like, just get out there and fucking do it. But no, he didn't fucking flip a 4-wheeler. Who the fuck said that?
Like I said, I saw like the article on Yahoo, but there was no video attached to it. And I tried granted, I didn't care enough to go like on Twitter to find it. I was like, oh, okay. I guess
of course, Yahoo would say some dumb shit like that. No, he like barely hit the barricade.
He was going maybe 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, because you can't go any faster than that. And yeah, that was stupid. Bill, I am having issues hearing you. I don't know if anyone else.
Yeah, you are pretty low.
So I just turned it down because Elijah said he could hear me type it on my keyboard. I guess I'll just move the keyboard out of the way.
All right, you sound okay. I can hear you better now.
So, but yeah, what's up, guys?
Elijah just needs to shut the fuck up.
Hey, leave him alone. He's trying to help. We're trying to figure it out. Neither one of us can figure out how to get him into the podcast YouTube account so he can make us clips. We've been trying for months now. We can't get it to work. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Draw blood under a full moon.
Probably.
And make sure you count to 6 4 times.
Just so everybody knows, Jake is probably is heavily medicated right now, I'm guessing. So he decided to go wrestle a cousin on Easter. And what'd you do? You you tore your rotator cuff?
Shoulder's fine. But my rib is broken.
Broken ribs.
I guarantee
suck.
you my knee's more fucked up than anything that's happened to Jake, and that's because I tripped over the gas pump last Thursday after the podcast because I was getting gas.
I got an X-ray.
And I wanted cigarettes. And this has been a week.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah.
You ratchet ass bitch. Tripping over gas pumps to get your cigarettes.
I know. I was drunk as shit at the fucking gas pump, and I was like, no one will know.
I can tell you're drunk as shit because every time I've hung out with you, I don't think I've ever seen you smoke or talk about smoking cigarettes.
Because I don't talk about it.
Is this a new habit
I do it
of yours?
in secret.
Oh, okay. Shame.
She's a closet smoker, Bill.
I don't do it all the time. It's like a rush. It's like no one should know. It's so bad.
Mm.
But I've bought like 3 packs.
You filthy dirty. You filthy
Maybe
dirty
5
girl.
packs in the last few months.
Oh, Lord.
But I tell myself this was the last one because, like, I always
Isn't it
hate how I
always?
smell.
Oh yeah, that's the worst part of the whole
I
thing.
can't. It sticks to my fingers, and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I work with a guy who's like a heavy smoker, and like he'll come to my desk and I'll be like trying to show him something on my computer, and he'll lean down. I'm just like, God damn, dude. Yeah.
Right. I can't do it. So like I'll go like months. I went years, at least like 10 years without smoking. And then last year I just got a wild hair in my ass and I was like, I'm gonna buy some fucking smokes because I can. Because fuck it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I did
And
the same
then-
thing.
It was a fun realization when you just realized you could just buy cigarettes.
Well, I mean, like I first started smoking when I was 18. Not like, but I've never done it regularly. It was always with like booze or something like that.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, no, a
Um,
nice boozy cigarette fucking is amazing.
Well, so I smoked in high school, but not to the point where it was like I just one day like after I graduated was like I'm just not gonna smoke anymore, and I literally just quit smoking. It wasn't that hard for me. And then I decided when I was like 35 years old, like hitting my sister-in-law's vape pen, I was like, oh, this is dope. I should just go get my own one. And then I vaped for a while. People saw it. Now I'm hooked on the goddamn, what do you call them, Jake? The Zimbabwe's?
Zimbabwe's.
So now I'm all on the fucking Zinpack. So yeah, I chose 35 for the age to get hooked on fucking nicotine. You know, that's awesome.
but I mean, at least the packs aren't like chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least from what we know.
That's what I tell
I mean, at
myself.
least there's not fiberglass in them.
I don't know.
That we
what's-
know of.
I mean, they don't print the ingredients on the pack. So
Bill, you're
I
like
mean,
20
but it's
feet
supposed
from
to be
your
just
line.
like pure nicotine, though, right? Like it's supposed to be pure nicotine.
I mean, I'm sure it's probably better for you than all the bullshit they put into like cigarettes and dip, you know? So,
I mean, it's just salt and nicotine, right?
and a Zinpack? I don't know.
Like, isn't Zin just salt?
I put one of those packs in my mouth because I found one on my kitchen floor and I was like, fuck it, I'll try it. It just made my lip go numb. And I was like, this is
It
weird.
says contains nicotine, salt, and other food grade ingredients.
Either way, like I know my brother-in-law just chews on like the Nicorette gum
Yeah.
because he used to smoke and then he dipped. And then, so I'm like, well, I mean,
Have you ever tried the Nicorette gum? It tastes fucking awful.
It like makes you sick.
That's probably how it works. It's not that you're slowly getting off of nicotine, you just slowly get off the shitty taste of nicotine gum. You know?
It's like ass and cinnamon.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys ever
Interesting.
see the SNL sketch with The Rock years ago called Nicotrol? And it's
I don't
like,
watch SNL, so
this
I have
was
not
like, this
seen-
would have been, this is back when The Rock had hair.
Oh Lord.
Old. And it was like a commercial.
Charlie's reaction.
It was a
This
commercial
is like
for.
01 type shit. This
yeah,
has been a while.
It was a.
The
it was-
Twin Towers were probably still standing if
Maybe.
The Rock had hair.
But it's supposed to be like a commercial for like an aid to quit smoking called Nicotrol, and it shows like this guy, like kind of like, honestly, kind of like a cucky looking dude. Like, yeah, like I could never, like nothing ever helped me quit smoking until I found Nicotrol, and it was like it pans to The Rock, and he's like, "That's me, Nicotrell, and Nicotrol will help you quit smoking." It's like he's like every time the guy like goes to light up a cigarette, The Rock just comes and like punches him in the face.
So he was still like wrestling Rock.
Yeah,
He wasn't
yeah.
like actor Rock.
But then there's this part.
Oh, look at Charlie flexing hard AF on us.
I didn't do it last weekend because I was drinking them too. So I was like, well, I need to change it here pretty soon. So I might as well.
Jackie in the chat said in a few years we'll see ads asking if you've been affected by Zen, like those mesothelioma commercials. Probably.
I'm gonna make over $1 million when these have their lawsuit. All right.
Oh yeah. So, but then it turns into like The Rock's on the couch with like the guy's wife. You know, like, and they're like being all flirty. And he's He's like, damn it, Nick, I've had it with this. Get out of my house. And he gets up. He's like, you don't talk to Nick Trail like that. And just like rock bottoms him.
Look what wound is
I saw that.
That's what I'm hearing too.
That's not what I'm saying. Which, by the way,
Sorry.
we got a phone call this week from my kid's school. I guess he saw on YouTube somewhere the prank of making like, oh, say this guy's name. Say this guy's name. And what is it? Nick Gurr. So that was a really fun. So my son was trying to get another student to say that name. That was a really fun conversation with his black principal.
Dude, okay, if this, I don't know if I said this story in the chat, but if it makes you feel any better, I heard of a story of a 7th grader who was in band with like an old woman, like she's pushing 70s, maybe even 80s. And he was just saying the N word with a hard R over and over and over. And I was like, I'm assuming this kid was white, but I don't have that information, but I can only assume. Just kept saying it under his breath over and over and over. And the lady was like, what the fuck? And then he just looked up and said, man, miss, whatever. They just got me working like an N-word over here. And she was like, go to the principal's office.
Well, if I ever told you the story, I have a family member.
It's a 7th grader, man.
Yeah. I have a family member that right out of college, he went, like, before he went to go get he got a master's degree. Before he was going for his doctorate, he decided to go teach math at the high school that I went to in, like, Western North Carolina. And he said there was, like, it was remedial math. So you can imagine the kid, like, senior remedial math in North Carolina. And he said this one girl was just, like, kept looking at her fingers and go like just looking in disgust. And he like went up to her like, hey, like, are you paying attention? She's like, I'm sorry, mister, but look at what these stupid chinks did to my fingernails.
Oh my gosh.
And he's just like, office, go. Just go.
You know, I loved taking the like math strategies classes just because that was my fucking entertainment for the day.
This was the same class where he found, after class was over, he found a note on the floor. There was always like 2 girls in there passing it back and forth. And it was like a detailed recount of this girl having sex with her boyfriend in the back of the short bus at a track meet.
Oh no.
But here's the thing, this is what makes it so funny, is that this girl, this is how she wrote it. Like, wrote these words down. Like, we like did it on the, wheelchair up and down thingy.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
She wrote those words. She wrote, like, And she wrote on the wheelchair up and down thingy.
Oh, fuck.
Oh gosh.
So I did that for like a year. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get my doctorate now. I'm done with this shit.
No.
I couldn't do it. I don't have the patience.
I just walk out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, could you imagine just walking up to some like 17-year-old girl, like, hey, are you paying attention? Look what these stupid checks did to my fingernails. Like, God damn it. Like,
Dude. That's fucking wild.
yeah. Us
Wild with a hard white?
Us
Wild
Western,
with an H. Wild.
those Western North Carolinian whites be wild. Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
Well, I was speaking what way?
No, the
Like-
Wonderful Whites of West
Oh,
Virginia.
Isn't that a show? Like the Wild
Is it
and
a show?
Wonderful Whites of West Virginia?
I thought it was just a documentary.
Oh, it might be. I've never seen
Is
that.
there a
heard
whole
of it.
show on it? Holy shit! I need to find
I
this.
thought it was I thought it was a TV show. It might be a documentary.
Charlie, do you know about this family?
I don't know what the fuck y'all are talking about right
It is
now.
like the trashiest fucking people who ever exist. And they just like fight over drugs and shit, and it's funny.
I'm trying to
fighting over
find it.
drugs that makes people trashy because they're my family.
No, Charlie, they would make you feel sane. I'm pretty sure they can make anybody's family feel
Oh yeah,
fucking
Jake,
sane.
you're right. It's a documentary, The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. A year in the life of the White family, well known for Jessica White, the star of the Dancing Outlaws documentary. Oh.
Jesco! Okay.
Yes!
I do know who that is. However, you watch the yellow underbelly or white soft
white underbelly,
whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
You will see the most fucked up Appalachian family. And they are
those inbred
straight
ones.
up.
Is that the one that like bark at each other?
Yeah, they can't speak.
There's one barks. And then they were like, oh, one of them died. We buried him in the backyard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
that's for real.
Yeah.
Mountain people.
So I mean, I grew up like near Asheville, so fairly civilized for the Appalachians. But if you get up north, like I heard all sorts of stories about like families that just like self-contained communities, and like you don't go into certain areas because if they catch you there, like you're not coming out. Like they don't want the government to know they're there, kind of thing. So who the fuck knows, man? You get up into those mountains.
Well, it's like you don't even know, like, you know, it's like people say, like, you go hiking in the Appalachian Mountains, like, you do not go off course.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't do that.
You do not know what's so it's like there's shit that's out there, people that's out there that you don't even fucking know exist.
It kind of reminds me of
they don't want you to know, and they're gonna fucking kill you. So you know. It's like some Deliverance type shit, I'm sure.
There was an episode of, like there's American Horror Story, but then they started doing this other one, American Horror Stories. And like each episode of that is like its own little self-contained story. And there was one about like these like family like camping in some national park and their son goes missing. They're trying to find him, but it turns out like a lot of these national parks like have like in the depths of them have like just these like feral people living in them, and it was one of the creepiest things I've ever seen. But I was like, oh,
isn't that one of the theories for the missing 411?
I don't know what that is.
My parents had a gnarly story, and they both told it to me, like at different times. So like I was able to corroborate. Of course, you know, my mom's was way more in depth, but they were on their way to Sturgis. So they were, I don't know what state that they were in. But they had stopped at a place where there's hot springs. And my mom was saying, like, my dad was all kinds of grouchy and just, and was bitching at her for wanting to get a place instead of camping out, which is like, classic my dad. And then my mom was like, I wouldn't give a shit. We just needed to stop. And he was like, you made us stop at this Bates Motel, because apparently it looked like the Bates Motel. They were the only people there. But it was a natural hot spring, like to the point where they were like, the toilet was warm because of the water was so warm, sort of thing.
Okay.
And so they went out and got in a natural hot spring and just kind of relaxed. And my mom was like, your dad finally calmed down, you know, felt better from fucking riding on the motorcycle all day. And then they were told there was a ghost town a few miles away. So they were like, fuck it. We still got time, still got daylight. Let's go and look at this ghost town. So they rode on the motorcycle to this ghost town. And I can, like, in my own mind, like, they never really described it. So, like, in my own mind, I just see, like, an old-timey Western place with, like, all, like, the storefronts and shit. So that's what I have in my mind. And they were alone, obviously. So they were like, spark up a joint. Perfect time. So they're sitting there having a good old time smoking. And then they see some person walk out. And then they see another person walk out. And then they see someone else walk out. They were like, and then all these fucking people started walking out. And we were like, it's time to get the fuck out of here. So they got a motorcycle and left. And I was like, that's not one of the fucking creepiest stories I've ever heard from anyone. Like, you're just chilling in a ghost town, then fucking people start walking out. Like, nah, man. And like this, that's not like an Appalachian sort of thing. They were closer to the Rockies at that point, but
oh, so they might have been in like TRC or some shit.
That I could ask my mom. I know she would know where it was, but
I know in TRC, New Mexico, there's hot springs, and there's like a ghost.
Was it? No, they had just left South Dakota, so it was somewhere closer to the north, and they wouldn't have gone through. I don't know if they would have gone through New Mexico that much, going up there. So I don't even think they were in Colorado yet, but maybe, but I'm not sure. So.
There's a bunch of weird shit up in the Rockies, even then.
Well, apparently there's just a lot of weird shit all over, and
yeah. Like I said, like I had some.
I mean, this was in like the 1990 too, so it's been a while. So those motherfuckers might be dead. So it's like, no, it's a real ghost town now.
Yeah, I mean, to this day, like
my ex's grandpa used to talk about fucking feral people living on the reservation. So
I can see that.
Oh, I can imagine that. It's like, what were natives? They were fucking feral.
Yeah, like, I had some friends growing up.
They weren't called savages for a reason.
Well, I mean,
that's what I learned from Disney. They are ignorant savages. Thank you.
Makes you wonder why you can't go in some parts of the Grand Canyon.
Mm.
Well, that's like there's shit like that all over the fucking world. Like, not saying it's a good thing, not saying it's a bad thing. It's just a fucking thing, and it's real.
There's fucking uncontacted people all over the world that
we don't wasn't know there about. Like pretty recent, like recently, meaning like in the last like 20 years, there was some like Pacific island that people showed up on, and there was like 2 Japanese soldiers on there, like still thinking the war was going on.
They did an episode of Archer on that.
Yeah.
I fucking love Archer.
But I mean that kind of like the shit's fucking real. And once again, not saying it's good, not saying it's bad, not saying it's anything other than it fucking exists.
Just like there's real. Probably families in the South that don't think the Civil War's ended.
Well,
I don't know about that.
Never that I ran into. There's definitely plenty of people that wish it had ended differently, but not as many as you'd think. Growing up in the South, I don't know, maybe it was like Southern people, because granted, like I grew up in the South, but like I'm not from the South. Like my mom was from like Indianapolis, my dad was from England, so like we weren't part of like the Southern culture, I guess. It's not quite as racist as people think. I mean, there's still plenty of racism, but I've experienced the same amount of racism from people not from the South,
Okay, I will openly say I grew up around a lot of racism, but Hispanics are racist as fuck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, like,
my mom and I met this man here in Lubbock at a store. He was a black gentleman. He was like in his 70s. He was retired, and he was like, I don't think he was originally from Birmingham, Alabama, but he worked there for a while. And he was like, I have never been to a more racist place than Birmingham, Alabama. And my mom, just being my mom, she was like, what? Like, Alabama? And just assuming there'd be more of a black population there. And she was like, really? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, I came here to Lubbock, and I've not experienced anything like that. And so I'm glad to live in a place where I don't feel that way. And my mom was like, wow.
Well, I will say, as somebody who's been to Birmingham, Alabama, there are plenty of black people in Birmingham, Alabama. But
my mom hasn't. My mom's never been there.
I'm guessing that there are still plenty of white people that do not like the amount of black people living in Birmingham, Alabama.
See, the only place I've been in the South.
You're talking about deep South at that point.
And he was older, so like it could have been like in the 70s, 80s.
Right. Yeah.
See, that would make sense if it was back then.
That he was there and then came to Lubbock because he said like he worked in IT real early. So it's just like, well, that had to have been sometime in the 90s because that's kind of when all that became a thing.
Yeah, you get your fancy rate, and you get your computers.
The most south I've been is Orlando, Florida.
Well, Florida, for being in the South, is not the South.
Florida it's cut off from the South. Like
Florida's just the United States.
Well,
Florida is never like when you say the South, people do not include Florida for some reason. I don't know because it is.
Well, Florida is the inverse. Florida's the inverse. Like, the further south you go, the more northern it gets.
They're fucking Jimmy Buffett there.
Now, if you're talking about like the North Florida border, that is pretty rednecky south. Like I said, Florida is the inverse.
They're fun rednecky though. They're all inclusive. Just have fun and destroy shit. Redneck.
Florida is very much the further south you go, the more northern the people get.
You mean the more Jewish they get?
I didn't say that. You did. And that's only one city, by the way.
Boca is known to have a lot of Jewish retirement people. It's not a fucking secret. Like, oh, Boca, I learned that from the fucking nanny.
Where they like, shit, we might get pro-Palestine people watching the show. Charlie keeps ranting about the Jews like this.
Mm-hmm.
You think anyone?
I'll take the views. I don't care.
Palestine watches this show? You think anyone who's pro-Palestine or pro-Israel watches this show?
Like Womb Raider?
Good point.
You think Womb is pro either one of those, and you don't know Womb?
I think Womb is just pro whatever he says gets the best reaction from people. So
yeah.
And you don't know Womb.
I don't know Womb. All right, let's get to we did Ask Me Anything because we didn't finish from last week, so let's just go to the questions. Next up. Fuck, marry, kill, but with members of the chat.
Sorry, Elijah, you gotta go.
Kill, and kill.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how to really answer that without, hurting anybody's feelings. Or making people feel weird.
I'm killing all of them. It's gonna be a giant murder-suicide. I'm gonna Jim Jones this motherfucker.
I'm more of
she's like, bust out that Kool-Aid.
I'm kind of like Charlie, but
I'm gonna bust out that hard AF.
That'd be the way to get us all, Charlie.
In that order, I'm gonna fuck, marry, and kill everyone in the chat.
Imagine you just mix hard AF with some Kool-Aid.
You don't need to. It's already Jolly Rancher, so you just mix it with a little poison.
Oh, what's your dream job?
I just want the color. I defer this question because.
Does anyone have a dream to have a job? Number one.
Yeah.
Really?
Charlie's like, I do not dream of labor.
Well, isn't that the whole point of the Office Space thing, where it's like what would you do if you had $1 million kind of thing? And it's like it's supposed to be like, oh, like if you want to like fix up old cars, you're supposed to be a mechanic or something like that. I guess my dream job would be like, I don't know.
Okay, I changed my answer. My dream job would be Kurt Cobain because I am 27.
There you go.
Aww.
Calm down, Jake. People here.
Honestly, I think my dream job would be a trad wife without the kids.
What's a trad wife?
Making sourdough bread and gardening?
No, I want to raise my own animals to kill and slaughter them and eat them. Gardening, I'm not in the best place for that.
I can see Charlie taking a bunch of edibles and working on a garden.
It's only a few weeks out of the year that you get that shit, so it's just like I'm not huge on gardening. But having your own livestock, living old school. I want to kill hard wife.
Smells like womb.
I'd be a tarred wife too. Either way, I'll take both. Either or, baby. Either or.
Just lobotomized. Just worrying about being pretty and getting fucked.
I'll just fucking honestly, my thing would be to just fucking walk in the pasture all fucking day. Just
I'm about to say, like, if money was no thing, but I had to do something like on a regular basis, honestly, I'd be like Forrest Gump. I'd just like go mow like the golf course across the street or something, you know?
Sit at a bus stop all day because you have nothing to do.
Yeah, maybe. I'd probably sit at a bus stop with a microphone and just interview people. That's a good one, Jake. I can totally see me doing that. Just find a bus stop with a microphone and just like, hey, where you heading? How's your day? Okay. But either that or, yeah, just headphones in on a nice mower on the country club behind my house. You know, drinking beer the whole day. When I get off,
I'll even fucking slaughter the animals. I don't care. Maybe not the cows. That's a big thing. I'll kill some fucking chickens and rip their fucking fur, like, feathers out. I don't give a fuck. You know how delicious that shit's gonna be?
Have you ever killed a chicken?
Not yet.
I had we had some friends when we moved, not when we first moved up here, but pretty early on in our life in Iowa, that lived like an hour away from Des Moines, and they kind of had the homestead thing starting up, and they had never done it either, but they had chickens, and we went over to their house like the day after they like killed their first batch of chickens. And like, oh yeah, and I was like, well, how'd you do it? It's like, well, we found this video on the internet, but it didn't really work out that way. And they had like a post in the ground, like in their car, they had like a concrete pad with like almost like a tetherball post, and all underneath it was just blood stains on the concrete. Like, yeah, the internet told us like you hang them upside down by their feet and you slit their throats. And I was like, where you watch like Taliban videos or something? Like, what the fuck?
That's how you butcher a fucking sheep. With a chicken, dude, you just cut its head off.
You can literally, like, basically rip their own fucking heads off.
Oh, don't you grab them by the neck and spin them around, right? Isn't that what, that's what my grandma always said. You grab them by the neck and just spin them until their neck breaks.
Yeah, and then you let them go, and they jump around, and they bleed out. Or you can chop their fucking heads off with an axe, let them go on the fucking dirt, not on fucking concrete. They'll jump
I was like, good God.
around until they bleed the fuck out, and then you process them. Like, so my sister, my brother-in-law, they do this shit, but they'll process like 60 chickens at one time. So it'll be an all-day thing, and they like bleach and clean everything after every single chicken, and like they get their kids in to help them too, all this shit. I'm sure they just chop the heads off, but like hanging them upside down and cutting their throat. What fucking video did? That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
That's torture.
That's fucking dumb as shit. And even then, like you said, sheep, like you don't do that, because I've had sheep that had that done to them, and you get too much of that shock, you get too much of the adrenaline. You don't want that in the meat because it's going to taint the meat. So it's like
sheep, you put the air bolt in their head, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know how many like personal places do that other than
yeah, that's like a mass places thing.
But that's like more for cows that I've seen like do the air bullet. But either way, like even my brother-in-law would do it, like just put a 22 up against a pig's head and just shoot him point blank. Like, right. You know, it's instant.
Right. Moving on. What is your absolute
kill?
What is your absolute favorite restaurant, and what would you order there?
Oh. I mean, it's not going to be a chain that anyone would know.
Okay, I'll start because I do know mine. So you guys think about this. But mine is, and it's going to sound super cheesy because I hate Disney adults. Both times we've taken one or both of our kids to Disney World, there's this restaurant there called Be Our Guest, and it's supposed to be like Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, I've heard that place fucks.
Did you have the gray stuff?
They do have the gray stuff, and it was delicious. It's just mousse, you know. It's like a gray
I'm
tinted
not gonna lie,
chocolate
I
mousse.
did have some gray looking shit at the place that we went to in Cozumel, and I was like, "This is the closest I'll get to the gray
Yeah.
shit."
The gray stuff was just like the gray stuff was good, but it's just like it was like a mousse, you know. So
Isn't
but
the gray stuff like actually like frog mousse or something?
it probably is. I don't know if they have that there, but I will
I
say
don't
like
know. I
that's
don't know that I've ever said like. I
both
think it just
times.
worked in the
Yeah.
song.
But both times we've been, I've ordered the same thing,
Chat.
and don't get me wrong, insanely expensive. But it was probably the best meal I've ever had in my life, and it was literally just a steak with like green beans and mashed potatoes, and then like they come out with a dessert cart, and you get the gray stuff and all that. But it's like the way it's cooked, and then they also have like they have their own wine, like the restaurant. Be Our Guest has their very own wine, and it's like the best wine on the planet.
Well, knowing Disney, the grapes are probably fucking grown on property,
Oh, who knows?
fucking farted on by the bitch who plays Snow White.
Probably. I don't care. It was the great. Like it's both times we've been, we've ordered the exact same thing both times, and it was fucking incredible. So that's probably my favorite.
Yeah, mine would be like a local place. Like, there's a place called Tea Room that makes chicken fried steak, but it's like straight up everything's homemade. The gravy, the chicken fried steak batter, and like everything down to the toast is homemade, and it's delicious. And then there's a place I went to like last weekend or something like that, called like 1809 in a small town. I had schnitzel for the first time, like, but it's a straight up German place. Holy balls. And then they had Reuben loaded French fries. That was fucking delicious. So like those two places, but like I said, like they're local places. Like it's not gonna
See,
be
and I'm
anything.
thinking local places too.
Yeah, but like we're in the fucking, in these southern towns. It's just like, yeah, that's
We
how
got good food down here. What the fuck?
Fuck, man. And I bet you got some bomb ass Mexican food. Lubbock has shit Mexican food.
Oh, we have some fucking awesome places. But I think I'm gonna have to go to two places. But there's this place called Vic's Daily Cafe here that is so fucking good. And like Charlie was saying, chicken fried steak, but it's homemade, and they do a green chili gravy on it.
Bitch, shut the fuck up. That sounds good.
And then you like order your hash browns extra crispy with that, and they're like deep fried almost, pretty much. Oh, just that combination together. And then, fuck, I was gonna say a second. Probably El Bruno, Mexican restaurant here.
Nice. Right.
We have some great Tex-Mex places, but I will say, for Texas, like, and people might not realize this, and I never really knew it, we have quite a bit of German population here. Like, apparently, like, we had, like, back in World War II, there were German concentration camps here, where they rounded up all the fucking Germans, like they did the Japanese, and put them.
I mean, isn't barbecue a German thing?
Schnitzel definitely is, but then I was talking to my buddy and I was like, I'm pretty sure this is where chicken fried steak came from because this is almost the exact same thing.
Oh, 100%.
With different ingredients. So it's like, that's definitely a German thing. And like a lot of the Mennonites here, which I know on like Drinking Bros, they were talking, they were like, what? Texas has Amish? And I was like, they're fucking Mennonites. They're not actually Amish. They're called Mennonites.
Yeah.
They're Mormon Amish.
It's Kinda. Not the same thing, but it's
like Amish
similar.
light. It's Amish light.
They fucking speak German. Like they are German descent. I've witnessed it. They speak fucking German.
So when I used to have to go to,
there was a lot when I was living on the reservation that would like pass through.
Yeah, when I
there's Mexican Mennonites, like white people in Mexico They farm. That's what they do. They're farmers.
Yeah, they grow
And
tobacco and all that shit.
they'll go wherever they need to. So there are some people who are working in Mexico and then want this like they're they can drink alcohol. The men can at least. So this
The
dude
men
needed the
can, right?
paracentesis and it was like, oh well, he got his paracentesis last in Mexico. So it's like they fucking go wherever they need to, but it's like those
Plus, they
feet
make
stand.
bomb ass cookies.
So I used to have to go to this town, like it was like it's between the North Dakota border and Winnipeg. And I like for my old job, I went there 20 times in a year. And the hotel we'd always stay at had an indoor pool, and the town was had a huge Mennonite community. In the winter, like because I was old for some reason, I always had to go when it was fucking cold, or maybe it's just always fucking cold there. But I remember one time, like me and one of my coworkers that went up there, like we're just like having beers, just hanging out around this indoor pool because it was like all like it looked like a grotto, like they had all the fake rock and shit around it. There was a Mennonite like party there, and all the men were drinking whiskey and Speedos, but wearing the hats, and the women were in the pool in dresses.
Oh yeah, no. Like once you hit a certain age, from when
I think it's once they get their.
and like they all make their own clothes most of the time, but it's like long denim skirts or long dresses, and when you're married, you wear a head covering. I don't know what it's called, but it's not completely covering the head, but it's just like one of
Yeah,
these sort of things, like it covers the crown.
almost like a
But I guess like
yarmulke.
that's more of like a showing that you're married other than like a wedding ring sort of thing. But little girls can wear whatever clothes they want up to a point,
I
and
think it's
then
when they get
it's
their
like
period.
you can only wear dresses after that.
That was wild. We were the very first time I was in that town. We were at like the grocery store. I forgot. Like I think we were just grabbing like bottles of water or something. And I asked.
Okay, Womb, I'm not going to respond to you by text. I met a fucking. He wasn't Mexican for sure, but he was some motherfucker, and he straight up told me about these German concentration camps. Like he was 80 fucking 9. He taught me the term jungle bunnies. I'm gonna fucking listen to that motherfucker about what happened. He said they were around Hereford, so like, bud, I know you know a lot of shit, but I'm gonna listen to that motherfucker because
He was
seen
there.
it. He seen it, honey. He seen it. And then I was like, I think I have some German in me, and he was like, but you're nice, and I was like, okay, you are.
No,
That
I remember it now. We were in like the grocery store in this town getting lunch because it kind of had like a little buffet thing in it, and we were with like some of the Canadians that we were working with, and I asked like as we're checking out, I asked like the checkout girl who probably was like looked like she was in her 20s, like, hey, like where can I buy like liquor or beer in town? And she like kind of like, I don't know. I don't know. And I was like, okay, sorry, like, okay, like, is there anywhere in town? She's like, I wouldn't know that. But you can kind of tell she seemed like kind of guilty about it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I asked her, I was like, what
Oh,
was
you're
that
from
all
the church
about?
questioning her.
I was like, what's that all about? It's like, oh, she's probably Mennonite and like doesn't want to answer the question. Like, yeah, okay. All right, next one.
She thinks you're from the church and you know.
Yeah. It's like Scientology. A pretty face, nice titties, or a perfect ass. I guess you could add personality. I think I gotta go. I'm torn between face and ass.
Marry the ass, buy the tits.
I'll say,
But the face.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go face on that one. I'm gonna go face. Titties you can buy, and they actually have to earn, but you can still get it. It takes a lot of work to fix a face.
Yep.
That's why they invented alcohol and makeup, right?
True, fair enough. Right.
Well, they didn't say how long you want to be with them, so.
Plus, if they have an ass, I'm not going to be hitting it from the front to even look at that, all right?
Fair enough. But you still got to like spend the rest of your time with them.
It depends. Like if we're talking like the rest of your life, if you're talking about wifing someone up, it ain't gonna be not the face.
Bill, you don't think I'll pull 2013 Cody Rhodes and make her wear a paper bag?
I don't know what that means, but okay. All right. Have drugs ever negatively impacted your life or that of your partner? Negatively impact?
I'm sorry, I was reading Honorary Slav's post that said butter churning face over butterface. I'm sorry, I got it. Okay, I'm sorry. What was that? What?
This one's kind of a loaded question because, like, I feel like anybody who's ever done any kind of drugs has had a negative experience with them. But have drugs ever negatively impacted your life or that of your partner?
No, drugs made my life perfect, guys. Next question.
100%, yes. I have dealt with both aspects. I had a boyfriend when I was young. He did every kind of drug, and it was all to run away. And he was not okay, and started getting into meth, and started getting into bath salts, and started cheating on me with someone that, because I didn't do those things, but started getting with someone that did do those things with him. They had a kid together and lost that kid and completely ruined each other's lives. Like it was a very ugly thing.
I would say I don't think it ever. I definitely have had some fun. Granted, full disclosure, I've never done any hard drugs, so but I definitely had bad experiences with drugs. So I don't think
I've seen it, and I even demonized weed for a while back in those days because she came and stayed with us for a weekend, and she had broken ribs because she did rodeo and shit, and so she was on a horse threw her off, broke her ribs. She was waking up every 2-3 hours to smoke a bowl, and would cough incessantly, would hurt her every single time.
Yeah, we had
wake me up when I heard her coughing.
Me and my wife had a friend in North Carolina, and I never really thought that weed was a addictive drug until I met this girl, and she could not function.
It's not bodily addictive like heroin would be or alcohol can be, but mentally addictive, yes, because it gets to a point where you have a hard time living with yourself. And I experienced this a few years ago myself, and I didn't see a way out of not smoking every single day. And it was a very low point in my life. And I just couldn't believe it because I'm it's just fucking cannabis. This isn't it shouldn't be like this. This is pathetic. You're fucking pathetic. But I just could not be sober. And it was better than being drunk because it's less emotional, but you can it's more of a disassociation than sometimes it gets to the point where you really start to self-reflect a lot more than disassociate, and everything that you're worrying about is amplified. And so I started to get way more paranoid and very angry. Even when I was high and I should have been happy and should have been euphoric and all this stuff. And so it definitely can happen, but it's just what's going on in your head. But you have to have a balance with everything. And they even say on alcohol commercials now, in moderation. And that's
enjoy responsibly.
That's with a lot of in moderation.
Right.
And that is a very hard thing to get to. And it's just not talked about often. And people who don't have these issues and don't understand, it's very hard for them to understand unless you've been there. And it's a fucking battle with yourself all the time. And it's very hard to be fucking sober for some people. I understand that myself, and I've tried to be more sober than not lately, and it's sad. Because
sure.
when I would smoke, I felt more like myself again. I felt like old Charlie. And when I'm sober, I feel like a ghost of myself. And, but life can do that to you. And will I always feel like this? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But life is fucking hard. And people have different levels of hardness and different levels of their life. And some people know early, some people know late, and some people never know. And some,
Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those things, man.
Right.
It,
Yeah,
it's
for
fucking
sure.
hard.
For sure. How many nooners have you seen naked?
More than I would like to.
Completely naked? Or like just partially naked?
I've seen.
Jake, what happened to your camera?
I needed a second.
Oh, okay.
I've seen almost everyone's dicks.
Have you seen my dick?
No, I haven't seen your dick.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
I've never seen them completely naked.
I'll say, I don't know. I don't think I've
frontals.
seen any nooner completely.
No, I'm not in the chat where you
naked.
posted your dick, Bill.
I don't think I've ever posted my dick. Charlie, have you ever posted my dick?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's
Not in the
another
other
that's
chat.
another
I've
one.
seen some weeners in the other chat, but that was all for fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Then we were making memes with each other's wieners.
Because I had to make it fun, because otherwise it was just fucking awkward as
I've
shit
seen-
for me. It was extremely uncomfortable, and I didn't like it.
I've seen a couple
something
dongs. I've seen some boobs. I don't think I've ever seen anybody completely naked though.
And not in person.
Not in person.
I don't think I've ever
never
seen
in
anyone naked in
person.
person.
Yeah.
Trying to think if somebody pulled their boobs out of the hard AF party or something. If they did, I don't remember. And it wouldn't have been anybody that I was like personally connected to in the nooner community.
I think everyone is relatively pretty chill at the hard AF party.
Yeah.
You would have gotten kicked out. We were at a legitimate
Bar.
Yeah.
like, no.
Right.
That guy was like anti-fun.
What's the most public
He
place?
kicked out Greg.
Greg, yeah. To be fair, Greg was stumbling in.
His knee hurt.
That was partly my fault though. But
I mean, he did start at like 10:30 that morning.
yeah, and I get it. Like I came in, I was hungover. So I like when we did our show before the launch party, I had like a beer. And he did like 6 beers. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Right.
Yeah. And we had like, free hard AF, and it's just like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know they were going to cut it off at like 7 o'clock like they did. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
I paid $20 for this shit.
Yeah. I mean, they cut it
like
off for some
7
people.
hours of free booze. So
Yeah.
it's like, I'm not going to say that, but it was just like, I thought it was going to be all
There was Nick and
I
his
thought it was going to be at least till the end of the game.
Nick and his girlfriend were the ones handing them out. And they're like, I'd walk up there and be like, oh, is it over? And they're like, yeah, just take one, man. Okay. So, all right. What's the most public place you have ever jerked off?
I haven't, because I'm a female.
Well, okay, the female equivalent. Jilling off.
I haven't,
Okay.
because I'm a female.
Mine would be. I was actually thinking about this fairly recently. We went to Florida on vacation. This has been a couple years ago. And every time me and my wife would like start, like we thought the kids were asleep, we'd start doing something, like we get interrupted by them. By the end of the week, I had blue balls so bad that it actually like was physically hurting me. So in the little one-off family restroom in the Denver airport, I just had to go take care of it. Like I couldn't walk. It hurt so bad.
Just go to the fucking bathroom and lock the door.
Well, I did go to the bathroom, but they have like, like you go place, they have it's called the family bathroom. So it's just like one little private bathroom.
Bill painted that fucking stall that day.
It was rough.
I was thinking like at the end of the night when you were going to bed, like in your hotel room.
I know. It just didn't work out. It's like the stars didn't align, you know?
You could have cranked it when you were
It
taking
was
a
a
shit
rough
in the
week.
morning, Bill.
Well, I'm taking a shit? I'm not an animal, Jake. Jesus.
But you could be. Sounds
Could be.
more like a you problem.
Could be. So, I don't know. We can move on from that one. Which Mario Kart character do you always pick?
I don't play Nintendo.
Peaches.
Yoshi.
Or the blonde, or the bitch in the blue. I don't remember her name.
I don't remember.
I always
either.
played her in the Wii U.
If you could tell everyone on Earth one thing all at the same time, what would it be?
Go fuck yourself.
Honestly, it would probably be more like religious and faithful for me.
Oh, yeah?
Jesus loves you. To be fair, but then it would be like what Jake said.
Yeah. Mine would be Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
We don't negotiate with terrorists. Go fuck yourself.
That's
Right. What is the most boring sport to watch?
On TV,
Golf.
baseball.
Baseball.
If
Like
you're
I
not in
said-
person, baseball is the most boring thing to fucking
Oh yeah, it's a radio sport for sure. Like it's not unless you're
You're
there.
either there getting hammered and doing the 9x9x9, or you're not. You're not. In it.
Yeah. See, Charlie, I play golf, so I can watch golf, but I do get it's not entertaining if you're not into it. Even though the Masters this year got pretty entertaining at the end. I gotta say baseball. I'm with Jake.
I mean, I'll say baseball and golf. Like,
Yeah.
I'll say anything other than football. Football's the only thing.
Get into hockey. Hockey's a blast because it doesn't stop.
But on TV though,
I could say as somebody who has gotten back into it recently, hockey is fun because it's so fast. Like like football is like play, stop, play, stop, play, stop. Hockey's just like go. And once you understand what's happening,
that's great for football because you have time to go take a piss.
Take a
you
piss,
have time to go get some snacks. You have time to go get another drink.
well, hockey you have 20 minutes.
Hockey, it sounds like you might miss some shit.
You have 20 minutes every 20 minutes. They have 20 minutes of play, 20 minutes off. And the 20 minutes off is excruciating. You're
But
like, come on,
if
let's go.
I'm not saying just fucking fights
Fights,
and shit, just
Right.
violence.
Yeah, if they're just not like throwing blows the whole time, I really don't want to see.
So, well, now's the time to watch because it's playoff hockey, and they just bash the Christ out of each other.
I do need to watch Slapstick though. I've seen the commercials for that movie my whole life. of them all
Slapshot?
being all fuck Slapshot, yeah. Fuck. Like I just remember watching movies and like those trailers would pop up for it and they just all fucked each other up and I'm like, apparently that's hockey. It's like, so if I don't so they're like we have the Dallas Stars and I'm like I really want to go see a hockey game, but I'm like if I go and there's not like blood on the ice, not like that dude who got his neck slit. That's
rough,
disgusting
yeah.
and horrible and awful. I don't want to see that.
Charlie just wants to see a tooth go flying.
Happened last night. Dude's got a stick and broke out his two front
going
teeth.
fucking aggro and getting mad and just fucking like I posted the thing of like a fucking ref getting hit by a player and then the ref start beating the fuck out of the player and I'm like, yeah, that's the shit I want to fucking see. I don't want to see a fucking civil game. Like, this is fucking hockey.
If I go to a
bitch.
hockey game, I'm sitting next to the penalty box and encouraging any fight I can.
All right. How long do y'all
I
think?
want to see fuck each other up.
How long do y'all think Womb lasted with Jonathan's mom?
5 minutes, give or take.
For it's ongoing. It hasn't stopped.
It hasn't stopped
And it
yet.
won't stop. Can't stop. Won't stop.
Is it like one of those machines that just perpetually fuel itself, but he's just fucking Juan's mom?
Kinda, yeah. Preferred method of suicide. That's a dark one.
I would jump off a building with a small cup of water on the ground. Make
Nice.
people fucking wonder.
I don't know what mine would be, to be honest. It all sounds pretty horrible.
Probably like a murder by suicide.
Suicide by murder?
Like, I can't do it. I can't do it myself. So I'll put myself in a position to get murdered either by the police or by a fucking random person, as long as like they rape me after I'm dead, not while I'm alive. I don't think I could do it by myself. Or like I'm making toast in the bathtub and then my cat just like paws it into the bathtub. I'd be fine with that too. I just don't think I could do it on my own.
Yeah, I need something fun, and I can't think of a fun way to do it right now.
Like car accident, I just don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
Unless I was like stupid, crazy drunk, and like I just didn't know what I was doing. But even then, like a part of my drunk brain knows like 60 miles an hour is too fast, you stupid bitch. Like, what are you doing? And then I go 75 and it's just like, you crazy asshole. So I don't think I could do it on my own.
Sorry, I
I don't know if
refilled.
I want like a police standoff though. I want to be like, yeah, if like Freddy could just like do me in, I'd be like, it was all my cat. Freddy, will you? He's asleep. He's not answering me.
No, he's quietly listening.
I would let him eat my body though, so it's like.
Name something on your bucket list no one would expect you to have on there.
Wait, what?
Name something on your bucket list no one would expect you to have on there.
Get over my fear of heights.
Is that why you're looning?
I don't know if anyone would not just like. My biggest thing is I want to see a sea turtle.
You want to slap a seal?
Oh my god. Oh, Bill. Go fuck yourself. Damn it.
We talked about it on the show before, Charlie. Sorry, my drink is leaking all over.
I know.
Like, would you want to pet a sea turtle or just like see it? Like
slap
a baby?
Slap it on the belly?
Not a baby. I want to see like a full, like maybe swim with it for a little bit, but like, ooh.
You want some fin noggin, dude?
Smacking a seal.
Ooh, or a walrus?
Oh yeah, right on the tummy.
Smacking a seal belly. Just, whapa! Just. Actually, that might be it. I think you thought of my thing. That's why I was like, go fuck yourself. Because you thought of my thing better than I could think of my own thing.
Okay.
What, slapping a seal?
Dude, it would be so satisfying. Just
fucking what? Probably crack like a whip, too.
It would, and you fucking know it would.
And it wouldn't even hurt them. They'd probably enjoy it.
Oh, they're giggling. Do it again.
One of those things.
Next thing you know, like Charlie has some weird, like, sexual but non-sexual relationship with a sea lion.
It's the most non-sexual thing that would get me off for sure.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Or like a cat fast slap, just like the.
I do that, man. It doesn't. It's not the same.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go on those slaps.
No, but like that quickness on a seal, just like that.
No, I'm thinking Charlie wants like.
Well, you gotta do like ha, and then ha. You gotta.
one of those slaps on its belly that hurts your hand far more than it hurts its belly. You know? Mine would be, I want to see a volcano erupt.
That'd be cool.
Pretty dope.
I've seen the movie Volcano at way too young of an age that I'm like, I can't do that.
Well, Volcano is just the later version of the better Volcano movie, Dante's Peak.
Yeah, no, I saw both of those around the same time because I'm pretty sure
They
they
were the
came out
same
around
summer.
the same
It was
time.
the same thing like Armageddon and Deep Impact. You
I
know?
was around like 4 or 5 years old when I watched those movies, so it's just like I can't fucking handle that shit. That shit terrifies the fuck out of me. Armageddon was a beautiful movie. Deep Impact was less beautiful.
Oh yeah, Deep
But
Impact
like
kind of
also
sucked,
people
to be honest.
survived in Deep Impact. Like Elijah Wood married the girl and like they got high enough where like they
Mhm.
lived.
Yeah.
So it's just like meh.
Wait, did everyone die in Armageddon?
No.
No, they save the world. Bruce Willis saves the world, and he's like there talking to his daughter, and he's like, "I love you," and like he saves AJ
Mhm.
because that's his daughter's future. Like you're the future, I'm not. Armageddon was a beautiful movie.
It
Deep
was?
Impact.
Not so much. All right.
Like you had like the daughter and like the dad dying because of a tsunami. It's just like it
Well,
doesn't hit as hard.
I've always had an incredibly irrational hatred for Tara Leone, so her dying was my favorite part.
Erection. I was gonna be like, whoa, Bill.
My dad fucking hated her, so like anytime he saw her die, he was like, yes.
I've always hated Tara Leone, and it's only because growing up, I was a massive X-Files fan. Like I was obsessed with it. And I always thought that Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny should be together in real life, which 20 years later they were for a little while. But Tara Leone was standing in the way.
Oh yeah, he was with her when
For
he
a
had to go
long
to, like,
time.
sex addiction rehab.
They were together for like
And then he
20
got in
years.
Californication, which made it
We're
worse.
in Californication.
Yeah, he was like living his real life on Californication.
What song has been? Oh, this is a good one. Hold on, the next one. I'm gonna cut you guys
I
off.
love that show.
I'm gonna cut you guys off because this one comes back to when we were talking off air. What song has been stuck in your head all day today?
I believe in
Joe
Henry.
From Tokyo, and that's all I know of this song. I believe in Joe
Henry.
You know what's been stuck in my head all day? Jackie's fat ass.
That one.
God, leave it to Jack Mandeville to come up with the catchiest bullshit.
I love how he came up with the lyrics of that and just fed it to AI.
It's been in my head all day.
He needs to
It reminds me of the beginning song of Pretty Woman, which is really funny because I heard that at the grocery store earlier today. That fuck, how does it go?
The movie Pretty Woman or the song Pretty Woman?
The movie Pretty Woman. Not the very beginning, but I guess when they start showing her.
Oh, I don't know that.
And it's the ending song too.
It's definitely got like that 80s vibe to it, you know?
Yes, and that's why it made me think of it, because it's like it's this 80s thing. It's just very like upbeat, and like it doesn't really sound the same, but it just gave me that kind of vibe. It just made me think of Pretty Woman.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this one's dark, and I'm not going to answer it, but you guys can if you want to. Would you rather throw a sack of puppies in a river or shoot your dog twice?
My dog is 16 years old, so I'd rather shoot her twice, because 16 years old for a lab mix is way too old.
Yeah, I guess if you had asked me that question when I had my previous dog, who was 17, I'd be like, yeah, he needs 2 bullets in him. So, yeah, but goddamn, dark question. What's the weirdest boner you've ever had? They're all pretty much the same.
I had a fear boner last year when I got in the car accident.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, no, I knew this question was coming, and I still don't know an answer for it. I'm not gonna lie. I guess for like any female that turns me on, I'm like, this feels weird.
Mm.
The first time
Like when I
Charlie saw
saw,
Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide.
oh, that didn't make me feel uncomfortable.
That
It
just felt
makes
natural.
sense, but it was like I guess when I saw Io Sky and Stephanie Vacquier, and like Stephanie, it's just like, girl with that ass. And then, like her finishing move would like she just pounds her ass into people's faces, and it's just like, it's probably that. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, look up Stephanie Vacquier NXT finishing move. You'll know what I'm talking about, and you'll love it, like I did.
Bill's just quiet smiling, so we all know what
I'm answering a question on the live chat. Do you or have you had a nemesis?
I currently do right now, and they are ruining my fucking life. I do not wish to talk on it anymore.
I don't know if it was like
Do I have a nemesis
Hmm.
other than myself? No.
I want to say a nemesis. Currently, I guess, like in high school, like there was me and one guy that just could not be in a room together for whatever reason. So, but I guess I've had one in the past. What color underwear are you wearing?
I don't think I'm wearing any.
I'm not wearing underwear right now.
Who the fuck wears underwear unless you're working out?
Yeah, no, I'm not wearing any.
Yeah, I'm not wearing underwear. So,
No.
answers that question. You're welcome, chat.
Chat, that was real.
Have you or would you ever go to a topless pool or beach? Well,
Ever been to a titty bar?
as a guy, it doesn't really affect me all that much.
We're always topless.
Charlie, would you ever go to a topless beach? I mean, I guess the essence of the question, sure, I would go to a topless beach. What do I care?
If I had like a cabana area with shade, but if it was just full blast sun for hours, absolutely not.
I mean, like, I think if it's full blast sun for hours, like, no one even wants to go to the fucking beach or pool.
I like the
Well, some
sun,
people
but
do.
I tan
It's
very
like
well.
if I
So
need an umbrella, because like, well, they just have like the beach chairs, but they don't have umbrellas, and like they don't have like.
Well, I like cabanas. Like, it's a whole vibe, especially if they have a mini fridge in there.
Mhm.
I don't know how many cabanas like on the beach have mini fridges, but they'll have like people that come up to you and ask you what you need.
Mhm.
Yeah, like I would need some shade. Like I'm too fucking white for that shit, man. Like
I feel like sunburnt nipples has got to be pretty rough.
it's it would be like sunburnt lips, sunburnt.
I've sunburnt my
Why?
tank before.
Like-
True story.
It would be close enough to that
And my
because
balls.
it's about the same non-keratinized skin. So yeah, that sounds pretty fucking painful.
Yeah,
You're like
we,
getting a sunburn on your lip, Bill.
me and
I can't do that.
me and my
so-
wife thought it'd be fun. We had a weekend together at somebody's house with their own private pool. We're like, oh, you know what we should do? Like, we should just be naked out by the pool one day. So we did. And the next morning, we were sunburnt everywhere, and it was miserable.
I mean, when I go in tan, I'll put like zinc oxide literally around like the areola area just because I know better, like on my face. I got like places I don't want
Like some fucking lifeguard shit.
things to be. I don't see myself ever going to a nudes only area.
Most of the people in
Like
that place,
in the
when me and my
sun.
wife went to Mexico, the resort connected to ours that we could have got into if we wanted to go to that beach was a all nude resort. I already knew the answer to this question, but my wife like asked the concierge, like, "Oh, what's that like?" And he's like, "Everyone there who's naked is about 40 years older than you."
Soggy balls. Soggy
Right.
balls.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, well, if I ever did do that, like I would be around all kinds of people. So like I wouldn't like self-consciousness is less of an issue, but it's more of like the sun.
Right.
Like contact with the sun
Yeah.
would be my shit. It's
No.
like, no.
No. I feel that.
No, I don't
I
want
feel
that.
that.
I do want to go preferably to Mexico because it's cheaper and get a hotel room on like it's like a river thing of or what do they call like the extended pool
Yeah,
Lazy
like
river.
room.
it's like the river style pools. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had that on
One of
our honeymoon.
those.
A lazy
Yeah.
river?
No,
But
it's
they
like
had
what they
like
call like a free form pool where it looks like it's not
yeah,
like a big just square.
it
It's like
like
it's almost like
goes to the
rivers.
pool
Yeah.
like if you want to, but then like
Mhm.
you can walk out of your back door and like go straight into a
Yeah, like a
pool.
walkout pool. Yeah.
But then they have like a bed
Hmm.
on the outside. No, it's just like
Yeah.
it's gonna get
All right, let's do like
X-rated
maybe
if you know
two
what I
more of
mean.
these. What's the strangest thing you believe in? Example: ghosts, angels, Bigfoot, aliens, the Holocaust, etc.
I don't believe in ghosts.
You don't believe in ghosts?
I don't believe in aliens.
You don't believe in aliens?
I believe in different dimensions, and I
Okay.
believe that
Interdimensional pedophiles are breaking through and stealing children and fucking.
no, stop it.
I mean, I definitely believe
I
in.
do believe in different dimensions, and I do believe that there are beings that can transcend dimensions. Oh my
I mean, I definitely believe in
god.
aliens. I just don't know if they've been
But
here.
honestly, like when you start listening to military people and stuff like that, and it's like things that we've seen, it's not of this earth. It's completely different and like different conversations I've had with people that are biblical, places that are talked about in the Bible, and it's just like this shit scared the shit out of me. It was not okay. Like there's a lot of things that we do not know. It's not fucking people from different worlds. It's people from different dimensions.
Hell is a different dimension.
I believe in angels and demons, and that's what it is. They are interdimensional, angels and demons. There are demons locked in this world that are evil. There are angels that have come to this world and done different things, and maybe we have seen them, maybe we haven't. Maybe we've seen demons, maybe we haven't. But things that are documented, it's not fucking big-eyed green aliens that we like. No, it's interdimensional beings. It's shit that we cannot comprehend. It's more
Yeah,
than
no,
this world.
like jokes aside, I agree with you because like just from what I've seen with my own eyes, there's shit that is unexplainable by physics, contrary to everything that I've seen. I've experienced
Well,
shit.
especially with like the military things that we've seen, and they're like, there's literally nothing in physics. There's nothing any other country could have made that can make the movements that we have tracked in, you know, in our Air Force and Navy, not the Air Force, but like in the, you know, the air vicinity, there are things that they have seen that can do shit that defy physics, basically.
I mean, I've
So it's just like,
experienced something where we were driving on a road that we knew should have only taken 30 minutes to get to our destination, but it took us 4 hours to get from Winslow, Arizona to get to where we were trying to go, which should have only taken like an hour and a half.
Well, how high were you?
And we were driving. I wasn't smoking at the time. We were passing the same shit multiple times. So, like, I've experienced crazy shit. I know that there is stuff that cannot be explained.
that's less than what I would take as, not gonna lie, but more
Well,
of like
no,
the
but even
military.
stuff like I've seen with
And,
like
like, we have tracked shit that makes no sense and then went straight down into the ocean. You know, stuff like that.
I mean, you see
But-
stuff in the
but-
sky out where there's no lights that doesn't make fucking sense either.
Well, no one
but
else
then
doesn't make
again,
sense.
like, you know, like I can say like, "Meh, meh, meh," but it's just like that's a fucking point, though.
Yeah.
Why can't we know everything about Antarctica?
Why can't we go
has-
there unless you have a government permit?
Why has every country made a pact about it? Seems a little interesting.
Mhm.
And then
I like the
There's
theory that the Earth's actually a lot bigger than we think it is.
So
Well,
not
that's
flat,
not,
just bigger.
we wouldn't. How would we know? How would we know? How the fuck would we know?
Okay. You know what else doesn't make sense? Jackie's fat ass. So we're gonna end on that, and because I've got to go watch The Wire. We're rewatching The Wire, and
Have you watched Ransom Canyon?
I've not.
Dude, Jake. So the girls in our chat talked about that. And they were like, "Damn, this motherfucker!" And I was like, "Jake worked on that shit." And apparently, that guy took a hit off his vape. So it's like, if you want anything to know about this motherfucker, like, Jake met him, worked on this shit.
I
So
don't have a picture with him, but I did meet him, and it was fucking awesome.
All right.
right?
So
I mean,
go
I can
watch
share that story
Ran-
now. Josh do not hit
Ransom.
my vape instead of Ransom Canyon.
Nice.
Yeah. Like the girls want to know about it. They're
What's
like,
that? Is that
"Oh, shit."
Netflix?
Yep, it's a Netflix show.
All right, go watch Ransom Canyon. Watch Josh Jamel hit Jake's vape pen. So, anyways, you already know what to do. Like and subscribe on YouTube, rate and review on iTunes. Go to Spotify, leave a 5-star. For Jake, for Charlie, I'm Bill. This has been the Nooner Nation. Have a good night, everyone. Love you.
Night.